Okay, so this is Patrick Tassa doing his final project for gaming culture. I decided to do mine on gaming peripherals and how they either add or detract from a gaming experience. Um, so I talk about like Rock Band, things like that, Guitar Hero, a couple other music games mostly is what has the peripherals. So I took videos of what I have and what I've got for a peripheral. Um, and then I'll probably throw up some stuff about peripherals that I don't own but are also out there and talk about them basically. So, just kind of talk about how they relate to their game and how they would relate to another game, similar things like that. So, my first video is of my arcade stick, so let's move into that. It also works on the PC, and it's just plug and play, which is really awesome. So this peripheral, though, is meant to replicate an arcade experience. As we see, it's got 8 buttons across top, 4 on top, 4 on the bottom. A joystick that I replaced the gate on from a 4 point to an 8, so from a square to an octagon, which meant before it was it was a square, which restricted it to square movements, but I replaced it with an octagon, so that way I can go in circles better. Up here we have the start and select buttons, and see if you look at it, it shows exactly what buttons are what, like square, triangle, R1, L1, X, circle, R2, L2. So right across there. And then here's like a couple other buttons, like the home button, the turbo button. And this slider here makes it so that way the stick is either the D-pad, the left thumbstick, or the right thumbstick, which is really cool. So you can use it for whatever. So I use this mostly for arcade-based experiences, such as top-down shooters like 1942, like you find in arcades. A couple other games that are used for stuff like that. Arcade fighting games such as Mugen, Marvel vs. Capcom, and Blaze Blue. And I use it on Soul Calibur. A lot of fighting games, anything that you would normally find in an arcade that would use a style of controller much like this. So that ends that. Okay, so that was my arcade stick. Pretty much everything I just said, recap. Use it for anything where I only need one set of movement, either with like a D-pad, one joystick, and a set of buttons that would be easier for me to have one finger on each. So anything where I only need the D-pad or only the left thumbstick, and that requires multiple button presses, and I don't like to have to move, like say my finger from the X to the Y or the square to the circle, things like that. Or to hit square and triangle at the same time. Sometimes it's kind of weird. Or square and circle is the weirdest, and cross and triangle is really weird too. So for those weird ones, I use it for that a lot. So yeah, moving into the next one. Okay, so what we have here is the Taiko drums for Taiko no Tatsujin for PS2. It's an arcade game that was ported to the PlayStation 2. It translates to Taiko Drum Master. Taiko are a set of Japanese-style drums that rest at an angle and you hit them with sticks. So here's the basic part of it. It's just, fairly thin. Here's the back of it. You can hit the outer ring. That's one part of it. Those are the blue notes that hit on the screen. I'll probably put in some gameplay or something like that towards the end of the video. But the outer rings are for blue, and then you hit the center parts for the red and orange notes. It's a standard PS2 adaptation. Just go straight to there. Typically, right here is the stand. You put it up on there, and it sits at about a 45-degree angle, so something kind of like that. So, which is pretty cool. So it just rests on there, and that's, you play it to, beat the crap out of it. It's, as I stated, to simulate Taiko drums. So, and that ends this.
So yeah, that game or those drums are used for taiko, as I said. It's a Japanese music game for taiko drums, which are Japanese drums, as I say. So yeah, that's pretty specific. You can't really use that on anything else. Trying to use that on any other game doesn't work because they map to, like, it's technically four buttons because you have the left side of the outer ring, the right side of the outer ring, the left inner, and the right inner part of the drum, and they map to four parts that are really weird on a controller. And trying to play any game but taiko with it doesn't work out very well. Just because, as I said, they're mapped funny. So into the next peripheral.
Next peripheral we have is the Rock Band guitar. This is from the one that I bought with the bundle for Rock Band 2. I put a sweet decal with tentacles, like octopus tentacles. I thought it looked badass. So, pardon my language. So anyway, so first off, we get the whammy bar. We got the strum. Sorry, it was kind of weird looking. The light's on for the camera because it looks dumb if I don't have it. We have the frets that's built into the neck. From the top-down view, you can't really see them. So, but turn it sideways so you can see all the colors. Down there, that's for soloing. When you're in solo parts, you can just mash them randomly and go crazy and have fun. Let's see. As I said, the frets. This here is for like distortion stuff that makes your guitar sound different. Start select. We have a D-pad. Which is fun because this is up, oddly enough. I don't know why. But so it's up, down, and then left and right are the same, of course. Home button for PlayStation to connect. Over here, because even though it's PS3, it is not Bluetooth accessory awesome like most of the other shit for it. Instead, it uses a dongle, and I believe this is because, if I remember correctly, the PS2 uses the same peripherals. So I had to tilt it at an angle so it doesn't look gay. Anyway, so it connects to the front of it with the USB. I remember reading online and people use the peripherals actually for other stuff on their computer. Like there's a Guitar Hero simulator people use, and that's pretty cool. So, yeah. I'll go over one other peripheral for Rock Band, and yeah. One moment.
Now into the next clip. I'm just going to roll these pretty quick along. So, yep, here we go.
Okay, and this here is my Rock Band mic. Part of the stuff I got for getting the Rock Band 2 bundle thing. So, it has a ridiculously long cord, which you see me have wrapped up. It's about 3-meter cord probably. It's about 10 feet. Connects via USB. Just plugs into the front of the PS3 or PS2, or in my case, the computer as well. I use it for my microphone for Skype, MSN, recording things. I did it for all my gaming journals. I use this trusty thing here. Basically, in short, I'm lucky it works with a lot of stuff, and it is recognized by everything. So, I happen to love this thing. It's really versatile. For I can use it on anything that requires microphones. Except for Skype, apparently, because Skype, it'll work for Skype, but I just can't get all the settings right. So, and that is that.
So, yeah, out of all my peripherals, that's probably my most multifaceted one. Like, I use my arcade stick the most. I use it for the most games. I use it for everything I say, and I use it for more, and I find more games